On this episode of the Gray Matter Creative Podcast, I'm going to share with you 4 pillars I use to create success in my business. Stay tuned. Whether you're already working as a freelance creative or you're preparing to leave your job and turn your side hustle into a full-time biz, it takes hard work. It takes tenacity and drive to create that business. But unfortunately, a lot of new businesses fail only after the first few years. So what can we do to lessen our chances of failure and not only survive in our business, but to be able to thrive in it? Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you the 4 strategies I use to generate profits consistently and repeatedly within my business. But before I get into that, let me introduce myself to those who are meeting me for the first time. I'm Jonathan Gray. I'm an award-winning creative director. I'm a personal branding expert, and I am a creative mentor based out of St. Pete, Florida. I help designers, photographers, developers, copywriters shift their goals, skill sets, and mindsets to build a profitable and impactful creative business. I'm so dedicated to helping you not just attract clients, but attract the right paying clients to build credibility in your industry and provide a roadmap for creating a profitable and scalable freelance business. So, if you are tuning in live or you're watching the replay, let me know where you're watching from around the area. And don't forget to share some love. Hit that like button for me. I'd be super, super appreciative of that. So let's dive in. So the 4 pillars of success is a process I've been using to create my own success in my business and with my clients. So these 4 pillars are really practical and really solid, and they really help you establish and visualize and reach your goals for your business. So no matter what industry you're in, this works for you. So it doesn't matter if you're a designer or a copywriter or a developer or a photographer. And what's so awesome about these 4 pillars is that it can be applied to not only just your business, but it can be applied to all areas of your life. So the first pillar we're going to talk about is the pillar of intent. So are you living intentionally, or are you just reactively living in the moment? Are you just complaining and focusing on what's not working? And, that approach, a lot of creatives can definitely come from a cynical kind of perspective. But it also, it does hinder your growth and it stops you from progressing forward. And it's one of the bigger ways that leads to creatives to hit a plateau, right? So it's super important that you take the time to really ask, what you want and be really, really specific. So it's like punching, an address in your GPS. So when you're specific about your destination, you'll have a clear roadmap to help you get there. It's when we don't have a destination, we lose time and become frustrated. So when you have an intentional goal set, it will be easier for you to create results faster. Because if you don't know where you're going, then how are you going to know how to get there, right? So whenever I left my full-time job when I was a creative director for an agency here in St. Pete, I set myself a goal. My goal was I'm going to be able to leave here in 3 months, leave my job and start my own business. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know what needed to happen, but I just had that goal set. Once I had that goal set, then it was like all of these things started coming together, and I started noticing synchronicities, or like these little breadcrumbs kind of telling me, ooh, maybe you need to go to this event, or maybe you need to talk to this person. And I would follow those kind of hints and those little breadcrumbs is what I call them. And then those breadcrumbs led to clients, and it led to bigger clients, and it led for more opportunities, which then I was able to leave my job in 3 months, which was amazing. And like I said, I had no clue how to get there. I just knew that's what I wanted. And then I just opened myself up to that process, and just allowed myself to allow the process to tell me what it needs instead of me dictate it. Because if you try to dictate how it needs to happen, you're going to be closing so many doors. So be open to possibilities and allow for that inner GPS to tell you where it needs to go. All right. So pillar number 2, the second thing you're going to need is you're going to need some vision, because vision is crucial when you're trying to anchor your intent. So it's how you take your imagination and bring it into reality, right? That's what vision does. So if you have a goal, you need to be able to see yourself achieving it, really getting detailed about the end results. So if you want to work from anywhere in the world, have amazing clients who seek you out rather than you always looking, or have a solid creative team under you. Take the time to truly see what that would appear in, how that would appear in your life. Where in the world would you be working? What does that amazing client look like? What does that creative team look like? And don't half-ass this. You have to really visualize your goals as if it were true. You know, when I was in college, I used to do a lot of gallery shows. And this was probably my sophomore year when I went to Ringling. And I was doing shows here in, the Tampa Bay area, and I was doing these characters, and I was doing paintings and illustrations, and I was putting up work in different galleries, and things were going great. It was totally unexpected. People were buying my work, and it was such an amazing time. But then I told myself, what's that next step? What's that next level? And I told myself I wanted to have a show in New York City. I wanted to meet an art dealer in New York City, and I wanted to sell out. So like I did with my job leaving, I set that intention. I didn't have any idea of how that was going to happen. I just knew that's what I wanted to happen. And a couple weeks later, I got a message, and this is when MySpace was big, from a gallery in New York on MySpace. They saw my work. I used my MySpace account as my portfolio site. And they loved my work. They said they were doing a group show and that my work would be perfect for it. So they asked me to be part of it. And I was so happy. So I was like, yes, immediately. I sent them like 10 pieces of art. I actually drove up to New York for the opening night. And that night, I actually met my art dealer. And it was amazing, like just how everything just unfolded. That was surrounded by all these amazing artists that I looked up to, that were like in juxtapose and that were like in high fructose, and those are like really amazing gallery like lowbrow magazines. And I used to find these people so inspiring, and I was like alongside with them. I was so blown away by this. Meeting my art dealer, it was like, oh my God, this is coming true. I did not sell out that night, but on the closing night, one person did buy all my work. So I did end up selling out. I just didn't sell out the opening night. So all 3 of those things did happen, and it happened because I was super clear on what I wanted. I allowed for the universe, or whatever you want to call it, to tell me what it needs to do, and I took action, which is pillar number 3. It's super important. You have to take action. It's not enough to just have the intent and to visualize, all right? You got to take some bold actions. So once you have your plan, you got to make sure that you're not procrastinating. So you've come a long way, right? Think about it. You have your intent, you have your vision. So don't screw it up by not doing anything. So the secret is creating a solid plan and just taking that action, but not just taking it once. You got to take it over and over and over. So what you should do is try to set some daily, weekly, monthly, even quarterly goals for yourself. No goal is too small. I have goals for every hour of the day almost. So the more you hit your daily goals, the easier it will be to hit your weekly goals, which will help you reach your monthly goals and so on. Okay. So that action is super, super important. Then the last pillar, but not least, is clarity. So clarity is that secret sauce to staying on track with your goals. Without it, we'll tell ourselves we deserve a break, put our projects on a back burner, let our emails pile up, and we'll lose cash, not be able to have cash to pay our rent. When you're super focused about your intent, your vision, and actions you need to take, the faster you'll be able to reach your goals. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple. And really the simplicity comes into the consistency. So the consistency is super important. So just like learning a new software, just think about when you were in school or you're in your programs learning these new skills. When you're learning a new software, when you're learning a new coding language, a new technique, it takes commitment. It takes that daily practice to achieve that mastery. And with clarity comes sacrifice. You might have to sacrifice spending time with your friends, wanting to buy that car or traveling overseas over to Europe. And if you're not willing to sacrifice those things to create the business and that life that you love, then maybe you need to revisit your intent, because your intent needs to outweigh your action. Like, you have to be able to be so driven and so focused on this goal that nothing can stop you, not even yourself, because you are your biggest obstacle. All right. So just follow these 4 pillars and you can't fail. It's not fluff. It's proven to work. Like I said, I apply this in my life. I apply this in my business. So just stop sitting on the sidelines wishing and just start doing. Commit yourself to these pillars every day, and you'll just be able to see how much your life, your business, and your creativity will just skyrocket. It's amazing. All right. So thanks again for watching. Make sure to leave a comment with any questions you have about this topic, and don't hesitate to send me a private message if you have any questions. Then if you're ready to level up your confidence, your creativity, and your cash flow, then schedule a creative clarity call with me. So it's a 45-minute session. It's complimentary, and we'll just get super clear on your goals for your business and look at a really personalized action plan for you and how to help you achieve it. So I'll put a link in the comments where you can access my calendar. You can just choose a date and time that works for you. All right, guys. So thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.